So right now we are going to be going to a car wash to well, wash my car because it's filthy, as you can probably tell. And then from there we're gonna go and see what's going on with ICIE, and well, yeah, so enjoy the ride, I guess. I need to leave all finished, just a note. You can keep playing your music if you want to.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just gonna put music over the viewers.
Yeah, that's what I tell people because they're like, they start talking quietly, and I'm like, you're not gonna hear your voice anyway. Like. Somebody finally sent me my mug.
Which one?
Or just like my.
So if you want me to ask you, what do you think has been the biggest challenge of living alone?
Ooh, you know what? We should save that for the interview.
Welcome everybody to my second interview with the next internet sensation, I should say. But her name is, oh well, on YouTube it's Life with Icy, and in general a lot of people call her Icy. So welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here with us, and you know, letting us know more about the life of Icy as, as it's portrayed, you know.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. I've been so excited to do this interview with you. I have no idea. But so let's just get straight down to the questions. It's gonna be nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna ask you little simple things. Whatever you feel comfortable with telling me, you're more than welcome to do so. But no pressure if you don't want to answer some of the questions. All right. So the first question that I have for you is, what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a YouTuber, a vlogger, just a filmmaker? What do you consider yourself to be?
So for me, at least, when I think about YouTube, I see myself as a content creator because I love to create in different avenues like YouTube, but also I have a blog, I love to write, and so I consider all of that content creating. So when I think of YouTube, I just think that's an extension of that. So I would say content creator / vlogger because I do a lot of vlogs.
Right.
But I think overall I would say just content creator. It's not just YouTuber, but just anything that is creative I love to do.
I didn't know you had a blog actually. What's the blog's website so I can go ahead and
Yeah, I'll
down.
tell it to you. So it's called Sincerely Icy. I had a blog in college, and that was actually the first time that I ever got into content creating, and then YouTube was just a more visual format, and so recently I started revamping it and just trying to have it as an extension of my YouTube channel, but it's more like a written format, and my plan for it is to share more creative writing pieces or pieces of poetry, things like that. So yeah, I think I've always had that actually. That's like the first, I would say, kind of like passion project I did even before YouTube.
Do you say that like with your whole blog, is it another way of you opening up in another way, like as you do like in your videos, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think for me, sometimes when I'm going through something, it's easier for me to write about it. And so I have always felt writing is when I can be the most vulnerable. So sometimes I, like on my blog, I think I have a poetry piece on there, and then I'll write kind of like diary entries, but they're just more formal in a way because I try to make sure that it's grammatically correct and it looks nice and presentable for the viewers or whoever's reading it. So I think for me, it does help me open up about things that maybe I don't want to necessarily talk about, but it's easier for me to just write it, and it's kind of like a free-flowing thought process. Did
you ever have like somebody that you would watch growing up or something that kind of inspired you to just go that route, you know, to...
So for me, I really loved a lot of lifestyle content creators. I don't know if these people for you, because, you know, I think you mentioned like our interests are kind of different in YouTube, but one person that really inspired me, her name was Kaylin Nicholson, and she's a Canadian vlogger. I loved her content, and it was very, it was during that era of YouTube where it was very structured and very aesthetic, and I really appreciated it from a creator's standpoint, like how much effort she put into the editing. And so I really liked that, and so I was like, you know, one day I want to do that with my content. Like I want to create that type of ambiance with my content.
And the video that you released, I believe it was your second to most recent video.
Yes.
You posted a video called New Reality. Do you mind telling me like what was going through your mind when you were filming that?
That was, I would say, one of the most vulnerable videos I filmed, just because in that specific video I did show a clip of me actually having a breakdown and actually having a panic attack. And again, it goes back to maybe the reason why I would say some people can connect is because I think I'm willing to kind of show people not the most pretty parts of my life. Like I feel like there's a lot of things in my life that I'm so grateful for, and from the outside it looks very picturesque and idealistic, but you know, I also struggle with anxiety and loneliness too. Like that's just like a very human thing to feel that way, and I think a lot of people, you see a certain person and you think that there's no way that they would ever feel that way. Like look at that person in their life, it's so perfect, there's no way that they could be feeling that way. And so I really wanted to open that door. And it's also part of my reality because there's also really good parts, but there's also those sad moments.
For people that are also, battling, similar things within their own head, their own mental battles, what do you feel like is your advice for people that are going through similar things that, you are going through in your life? Like, for example, if they're having a battle of, like, whether or not they should do something that they want in their life, or if something in their life is, like, holding them back. Like, what? Yeah. It's a very broad question, right. But, like, what advice would you give those people that are, like, going through their mental battles?
I think, mental battles are all very different. I think one thing that helped me, or that's helping me, and that people would tell me, like when I would talk to my mom, she would tell me, like, for example, if you're dealing with loneliness or sadness, like a very general feeling that we all feel, I think you have to understand why you're feeling it, like get down to the root cause, because there's obviously like a reason you're feeling that way, and I think get very, very specific. For me, the way I do that is by writing it out, like journaling. Maybe for some people it's talking to a friend or going on a walk and just sitting with their thoughts. But I think if you can get more specific with the root cause of why you're feeling that way, you can kind of create a game plan of how to attack that. And I would also say, don't feel like you have to do it on your own. Like, you don't have to tell the whole world, like, hey guys, I'm like going through a depressive episode. Like, you don't have to, make this like a broadcast about it, but just have 1, 2, or 3 really close people that you can trust with your heart and with your vulnerability, and lean on those people. Like, I would say be very careful with who you like open up to. Like, you don't have to open up to every single one of your friends, but if you can just find people that, will just listen to you and not judge you, that helps. So not having to feel like you have to, keep it all in and bottle it all up, I think. And then I would say nature, just like getting outside, getting out of your head, find one thing that brings you joy and try to incorporate that in your life somehow.
Yeah, no, it's true too. Like, some people that you talk to, like, they'll be there to give an ear sometimes, and I feel like one thing that a lot of people misinterpret when it comes to being there for somebody is that when people lean on you, they do it for a purpose of they just need somebody to listen. And of course you can put in your input here and there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should be telling them exactly what to do. Yeah, because they're looking at you to listen to their problems, not to tell them what they need to do in their life, They know what they need to do with their life, so like, have you, like, I'm pretty sure you've had your fair share of people that have done that to you.
And to be honest too, like, I take accountability, and I think I've been the bad friend where I unintentionally, and not with bad intention, but I unintentionally kind of insert what I would do. And that's something that the older I got, like into my 20s, that I realized that a good friend never gives unsolicited advice. Like, if someone really wants to know, like, hey, ICIE, like, what do you think I should do? Like, if someone really wants to know how you would handle a situation, they will ask you. But until that question is brought up to you, always go in with the intention of, like you said, just to listen to that person. Even if you don't agree, this is something that I was talking to one of my best friends. We were talking about how, like, all the stupid, like, things that we've done, that we've witnessed and been a part of, and it's like a good friend, even if you disagree with their choice, you just want to be there when they fall, when they come back and they're like, oh my God, I really messed up. And you sometimes, I think, the more you try and tell someone to not do something, or you try and tell someone to, oh, you're doing this wrong, like, you shouldn't do that, like, it creates resistance. And I would say, for the most part, generally, people really only learn by making the mistake and then processing it. Like, some people just have to find it out for themselves, and you just have to be a good friend and kind of step back and then let them do that.
Agreed, and I couldn't have said it any better myself, honestly. I mean, you pretty much have it on lockdown. But that was all the questions that I had for you today. Thank you so much for coming on my channel and answering all my questions. It was a pleasure. you know, just doing this with you. Thank you so much again.
Of
And
course.
I hope to do more videos with you.
Yeah.
If not in an interview status, then in another kind
interview
of
update.
yeah.
How's life in like 6 months from now?
Yeah, and then I'll put like little updates of the videos. So.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe. You know, if you're watching from ICIE's channel, welcome to the channel. And you know, I hope to see you guys in future videos. So thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.